So it seems that the collapse of the the UK has always had a multi-party system compared to the US as well, but it seems that the two dominant parties have disappeared. Yep, the Conservatives and the Labour. So of course, there's a possibility that the all the other parties could just coalesce against Reform and Conservatives as well. But basically the same. But the UK elections are different than the US. They have multiple parties, one for like one seat, and for basically is the president doesn't get a separate vote as well, or the prime minister of the UK. They get voted by. It's kind of like if the US, you know, you had to win the majority of the House to win the presidency as well. But the U.S. government works differently than the U.K. That's just how it works as well here. The House and Senate, do have a role to play, obviously, but the president is still, the one that you have to kind of vote for to really make any real change as well here. But you still have to win the House and Senate if you want the, presidency. Okay, yeah. But the Reform Party in the UK is at 32% of the vote. And a lot of people are saying this is going to make them win like most of the seats as well here. Which is kind of wild. It's only 32% of the vote. But the Reform projections, yeah. Yeah, they're doing 341 seats, 15 sort of majority as well. So they won't win absolutely, obviously, but they would still win a vast majority of seats, as well as taking them all from, the Conservatives and Labour. And the other party that would gain the most would be Greens as well. The Greens would win the most. And there's, of course, others as well here, SNP and Priad Simru. I never heard that party before, but but like for example, London is still gonna be mostly, I think, Labour. You might have like one or two Reform seats as well here in London, but the vast majority of the country is gonna be voting for Reform UK. It seems that they're gonna be the big party. The other party that will be vying for dominance is the vying in a battle will be the Greens and Liberal Democrats. So there's a possibility that Labour, Greens, and Liberal Democrats could just create a coalition and get someone in there. So Reform would have to work with the Conservatives to form a majority. They would have to work with the Conservatives to form a majority as well, if they would want to as well. Yeah, because they won't get the majority of seats, but they would have to work with another party, which most likely would have to be the Conservatives, because they would have to work with Conservatives, or else the Greens, Labour, and Liberal Democrats could just all go together and just vote, basically go against them as well here. Yeah, but this is now at 32%, so there is actually a possibility they actually might just win the outright win, the majority as well here. Also, Greens is projected to gain even more as well. They only have 7 seats. Actually, the Liberals, they can't really do a basic, can they? So 78 plus, okay, 7. That's like 100. Yeah, they can't do a coalition because they have. Yeah, they can't. They would win like 280 seats or something like that. And Labour has dropped as well, so it would be around a similar amount of seats as well. Conservatives would still win around 45 seats or so. But yeah. Yeah, but it seems that both Labour and Conservatives have dropped massively as well. It seems that people are now going to try a new third party, which is Reform UK as well. So yeah, that's what this video here. Goodbye.